Every morning, just as the sun started to break through the clouds, he arrived. Same time, same coat, same bench. He sat there quietly, hands folded in his lap, eyes drifting across the field where joggers passed, mothers pushed strollers, and dogs chased after tennis balls. He never brought a phone, never carried a book. He just watched and waited. Not for anyone in particular, not for anything specific, just waited. His name was Thomas. He was 76 years old, retired, widowed, no children. And in a city that never stopped moving, he had somehow become still, like background noise, like wallpaper. He hadn't always been this way. Once, Thomas had been a beloved high school teacher, the kind who remembered every student's name, who stayed late to help kids who were falling behind, who clapped the loudest at graduation, who got thank you letters in the mail long after those kids became adults. But time is a strange thing. It moves forward whether we're ready or not. One day you're surrounded by voices. The next, there's only silence. After his wife passed and the school closed, his world narrowed. The bench became his place of peace, but also his place of questioning. Some days he asked himself if he still mattered. Not in a dramatic way, not with tears, just a quiet ache. You see, it's not always loud. The moment you start feeling invisible, sometimes it sneaks up on you, little by little. You open your mouth less in conversations. You step aside instead of speaking up. You stop correcting the barista who spells your name wrong. And then one day you wonder, if I stopped coming to this bench, would anyone notice? Weeks passed. Seasons changed. Still, he returned. Through the chill of fall, the soft snow of winter, the rebirth of spring, same bench, same silence, same questions. Then came that one afternoon. It was a Saturday. The park was busier than usual. A group of teenagers laughed nearby. A man painted on a canvas. A mother ran after her toddler, calling out with joy. Thomas was about to leave when he noticed something. On the bench, just beneath where he usually sat, etched into the wood, something small. He leaned in. It was faint, almost like a whisper carved into time. Thank you for being kind to me when no one else was. He blinked. His first thought was, strange. That must be for someone else. But something tugged at him. The words felt familiar. Not the handwriting, not the tone, the feeling. Like a breeze carrying a memory back into the room. He sat down slowly and let himself drift back through the years, to all those students he'd helped, to the quiet girl who always sat in the back, to the boy who used to stutter when he read aloud, to the ones who thought they weren't enough until he told them they were. And suddenly he remembered. It was decades ago. A young man, maybe 15 or 16, sat alone at lunch every day. Kids teased him for his clothes, for his silence, for his stutter. Most teachers ignored him, but Thomas didn't. He invited the boy to join the school gardening club. He made him feel seen. That boy eventually smiled, even spoke in front of class. Could it be? It hit him all at once. The carving wasn't random. It was left for him. Not for the world. Not for a stranger. For him. Someone remembered. Someone had once felt invisible, and because of him, they didn't anymore. And now, years later, they had come back to return the favor, to let him know you mattered. You still do. He stared at the words as tears welled in his eyes, not out of sadness, but recognition. So many days he sat on that bench believing he was a shadow, but he had never been invisible, only unseen. There is a difference. We live in a world obsessed with fast results, loud voices, viral posts. But sometimes, the most powerful impact is the one no one sees. A kind word, a gentle hand on a shoulder, a belief in someone when they had none in themselves. You may not see the ripple. You may never get the thanks, but that doesn't mean the wave didn't happen. Thomas returned to the park every day after that, but something was different now. He walked taller, smiled more, even began saying hello to strangers again, because now he knew his worth didn't fade with age. It wasn't erased by silence. It didn't need applause or proof. It lived in moments, in people, in memory. Maybe you felt invisible too. Maybe the world forgot to say thank you. Maybe you're sitting on your own version of that bench, wondering if you still matter. Let me tell you something. You do. The kind words you spoke, they echoed. The person you helped, they carried your kindness into the world. And one day, maybe when you least expect it, that kindness will carve its way back to you.